Today, on Be Something Wonderful, astonishing SP manifesting story with scripting, affirming, revision, self-concept, reality shifting, and much more. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I have a massive video today, and to call it a masterclass is even an understatement, because this subscriber wrote to me yesterday. She's been on the channel now, I think she says since 2022. So she's been around. She discovered the idea of manifesting. And she says it wasn't really until the channel, until she discovered the channel, until she watched some of the videos, that she really understood and really moved into her new life. I want to unpack this because it's a brilliant, brilliant masterclass and shows us, gives us the blueprint of revision, scripting, affirming, self-concept, forgiveness, oneness, reality shifting, and more. She does it all. She says in her email, my SP story, this is amazing. Everything started with your channel. Thank you so much for sharing. These are the things she said. So before she discovered it, right? This is what she says. Before discovering the channel, she was trying to manifest from that horizontal linear reality, that linear experience, that small me, a specific SP, a specific person, someone that she had in mind, right? This is what she was saying. She was trying to heal past trauma. She was trying robotic affirmations. She was trying to flip thoughts and flip feelings. She was trying all of that, trying and trying to apply processes and trying to make something happen out there, right? After she listened and absorbed the channel content, she had this realization, right? And this is one of many. I'm going to show this. She went vertical, essentially. She went to that vertical reality where it's all there. She goes, after she discovered the channel, she goes, I figured out that I didn't want that specific person. She had a specific person, someone she identified. She figured out she didn't need it or want it after listening to the content. Instead, this is what she said, her first big realization. Now we're going to lay it out, blueprint by blueprint here. I wanted the feeling, or in other words, the experience. Because remember, what is feeling? It's an experience of ultimate reality. It's an experience of that love that you already are. It's an experience of source energy, the vertical, that I am, right? I wanted the feeling or experience of having a great relationship. So I started building that relationship with myself and self, with myself. This is big. This was the beginning for her. In other words, the only relationship that ever matters is between you, that personality in 3D, and your higher self, who you really are. That's what she decided. I'm going to work. That's the only relationship that matters. This is how it started. That was a big insight. So before, here she was in that linear, horizontal experience. Remember, the black represents the black frame or moments that we consider past, but they're just moments or frames of reality, images that exist in the eternity archive of the film archive of eternity. That all of these memories, all of these images exist. This is the present frame, where she believes she is in her life right now, what she's focused on. In the future frame, what she wanted to light up. Right, a specific person, one to heal trauma, one to have a better life, right? More money, more things, all of that, right? And so the past frame in this horizontal experience, while she was trying to robotically affirm, trying other things, she was trying to heal her past. She was feeling unworthy, feeling unloved. She was feeling alone, separated, and limited. She was trying to heal all of that. Heal the unworthiness, heal the unlovingness, heal the aloneness, heal the separation and the limitations that she was feeling. Do you see it? In that horizontal experience, that's what she was experiencing. In the present moment, she was trying to fix it all. Trying to fix it with self-concept, trying to flip thoughts, flip feelings, trying to heal those past hurts. those flipped feelings, trying to robotically affirm. Do you see it? So her past contained what she believed past trauma that needed to be healed, where she felt unworthy, she felt unloved, she felt alone, separated, limited. In the present moment, she was trying to fix all that from the present slide, from the present viewpoint of that less than 0.0001% of reality, that horizontal view, trying to fix her self-concept, trying to flip thoughts, trying to heal the past hurts, robotically affirming, flipping thoughts, flipping feelings, trying everything, but still feeling, she said, bad. Right? She's still feeling bad. In other words, and then she's trying to imagine and affirm a relationship with a specific person. But you can see, she didn't get anywhere because she's still holding on to what she believes is all this past hurt, trying to fix it from what she believes is the present moment, trying to imagine that better future. This is what she says, big insight. However, I didn't feel good with myself, right? I kept doing things I didn't like in automatic. Do you see it? I kept doing things. What is she pointing to? She's pointing to those subjective, subconscious tendencies, what we call the subconscious. But remember, it's all consciousness. But you're only ever feeling what you're thinking, your assumptions, and you're only ever doing or acting on what you're feeling. So she was acting on that not feeling good, not being able to fix it, and she says it was like automatic. She's giving us she's talking about the subjective tendencies, the subconscious. Brilliant here as she lays this out, right? And remember, either you're consciously creating your life experience, or something or someone else is, those subjective tendencies that become on automatic. This is what Neville Goddard was pointing at when he said you have no free will. Well, you have free will. But the free will you have, you believe you're making choices, but you're making choices on how you feel, and you're feeling on what you're assuming, right? And so these subjective tendencies. So we're going to get at this, how she changed that, right? How she created new tendencies, right? From that now moment, right? Some of you were asking about robotic affirmations. We're going to get into that. The reason that that sometimes 50% of the time they work, 50% they don't with people, this is what you hear. Some would work and some you don't, is because you're affirming from that horizontal, narrow viewpoint of reality. Believing that you're limited, believing that you have trauma, believing that you are unworthy, that you're alone and separated, trying to get here. Right? So we're going to talk about that because those subjective tendencies kept coming up. That's what she's saying. These are her words. Beautiful. However, I didn't feel good with myself. I kept doing things I didn't like in automatic. Then one day, your channel popped up on YouTube. This is where she feels was the inflection point, where things changed. So keep this in mind, those subjective or subconscious tendencies. Right? This is what she said. After she moved into the vertical, right? She was repeating and affirming things, but her new story, new inner speech, affirming now from that idea that she is that I am of Scripture. I am that I am. She moved into the vertical. We're going to show you how she did this with scripting and affirming and other things. But I'm going to give you this overview. This is her new story, right? Remember, repeating affirmations in what some people call a robotic manner it's not that that's good or bad. We're never judging or weighing in on that. We're saying, where's it coming from? Is it coming from your belief you're here in this narrow, less than 1%, you're weak and you're limited and you have no options and you're defined by your past? You're trapped and stuck by your past and can't get to that imaginal future? Or are you affirming and telling that new story and repeating those affirmations from the vertical, from knowing that you're much bigger than any one of these slides or frames of reality? That you're more than that all of these combined, all of these superimposed one over the other to make you this unique multidimensional being, right? So you tell the new story from that, when then those affirmations become enchanted. Your new story becomes enchanted. Those robotic affirmations become enchanted, right? Your old story and your old, hear this, your old subjective tendencies, that old subconscious that you believe is messing up your life becomes irrelevant as you move into the vertical of your true nature and your true story of I am. You're telling a new story, those affirmations from that new story. They become irrelevant. They start to fade. That's really what it means when people talk about reprogramming the subconscious. You don't need to reprogram God. You're already there. It's everything that you want is already there. You just got to stop telling the old story. You got to stop believing in the old story, right? Even robotic affirmations don't help when you believe you're this. Do you see it? So it's telling that story from that vertical. And then that old story, those old subjective tendencies fade. They become irrelevant. You take the light off them. You stop repeating them. You stop acting on them. They no longer are relevant to who you are now. That's powerful. That's powerful because I know some of you had some questions on the idea of reprogramming. Why would you need to reprogram if you're God? Exactly. But what does really reprogramming mean? It just means imagining things, assuming, affirming things as you would like them to be, enchanting those affirmations from that idea that you're already complete, you're already whole, you are the I am of Scripture. That's what that really means. She says here, I remembered wrong. I was a blessed child. I am a blessed woman. I am that I am. I love this one line. Says it all. I got a tingle just reading that. This is her affirmation. I remembered wrong. I was a blessed child. I'm a blessed woman. I am that I am. Wow. Old story was that she was an abandoned child. Not blessed. Not loved. Right? This old story that past frame, that trauma, feeling unworthy, feeling unloved, trying to fix it with robotic affirmations and self-concept work, trying to fix her old self, her old broken, what she believed to be broken, right? And you're not broken. She's trying to flip thoughts, flip feelings, feel better. Instead, she created the new story. She goes, I remembered it wrong. My dad worked 2 jobs to provide for us, to give us food, to give us clothes, to provide the best circumstances that he could. He worked 2 jobs to love us, not to abandon us. She changed I'm getting tingles. She's changed the story. She said she was inspired to reach out to her dad, and she did. And her dad came back and said, you've always been my princess. You've always been my priority, and you still are. Wow. I remembered my story wrong. These are her words. I'm always loved. I always get everything I want. Wow. Woo, I told you, and there's a lot more coming here, guys. This is just the beginning, right? So manifesting her new SP story. Now she's manifesting a specific person, but not a specific person. Just a specific person, someone that will give her the experience of that love that she is. To share the love that she already is with another point of consciousness in this 3D experience. That's what she wants, right? She focused on the relationship between herself and self within the vertical, right? She affirmed and scripted and revised from that vertical. I manifested my dream house, my dream car, and the process was better than I expected. I did it by myself. Everyone worked to support me. Right? So she did this, and now she has a couple grown kids before living with her in this dream house, right? And then with her SP, this is what she said. I made a list of all the things I wanted in a partner, and I knew that he existed. So she scripted it. Just like she did here. She used affirmations and writing it out, creating it, imagining it in her imagination, creating a scene of what her life would be like, using all the things that she knows, right? Revised her past, right? Remember, when you revise your past, you move to a whole new timeline where that past has changed. And so then she manifests the dream house because now she's in the vertical. Now she's affirming from that greater reality. Right? I made a list of all things I wanted in a partner. I knew this existed. Now this is pure magic. I'm going to show you who her SP is and how this happened. It is so astonishing, right? She goes, I wrote it and I put it away. Wrote it and put it away. I was so merged with myself and desire. In other words, I was so merged with myself and desire that every day my heart was so grateful when I would go to bed, I couldn't control my tears of joy and gratitude. Wow. So merged. This is the idea now of being enveloped by your desire, being surrounded by the answer. Right? We get those two missing sentences from Scripture, right? From the 4th century edits. She's embodying that. She's embodying it. She's feeling it as her identity. She's occupying the state, the new identity, that 5th level of creation. She goes, so I opened my Facebook again. She reactivated. In other words, she reactivated her Facebook. Right? Here's what, she had some resistance with her Facebook. She says here, I closed my Facebook a couple years ago because I didn't want to meet someone through social media. She wanted to meet someone in a different way, right? And she would get messages on social media, they would flirt, and sometimes it wouldn't go very well. So she didn't want to have that experience, right? This is big relevance to her manifesting miracle, to the SP that she manifested. So remember this. This ties in beautifully with how she created this new reality. So she says this, I said to myself, if someone said hi, I'll say hi. But if someone tries to flirt with me, in other words, in an inappropriate manner in her mind, I will block them and be done. So she had a prior undesired experience, but willing to open up Facebook again, following her intuition, following that, her higher self, following that, okay, I'm just going to do that. Right? And just like that kid we talked about that manifested his dream job, his dream house, right? In this apartment, in a penthouse apartment overlooking the city, right? The same thing. She goes, then she received a message from this man on Facebook. She opened up her Facebook saying, hi, Jackie, how are you? Not the real name, right? I changed the names, but hi, Jackie, how are you? She finds out. So remember, she says she'll say hi. So she said hi, right? She says it right here, right? So this was different. Hi, Jackie, how are you? Like he knew her, right? This person. So this wasn't just some stranger trying to flirt with her. She started laughing. She goes, it was my high school crush. It was her high school crush. Out of the blue, not out of the blue, out of you, out of her, right? He didn't know that. So it was her high school crush, but she's saying he didn't know that she had a crush, that she was crushing on him. He didn't know it, right? So she goes, I think, oh, maybe he is messaging me about my content. She's an influencer. She's a speaker. She's a public figure. So she has content. So she's going, well, he didn't know that I had a crush on him. So maybe he's just reaching out for some of my content. She goes, I was relaxed and easy about it. So she got into that relaxed state, easy about this interaction. Do you see it here though, guys? High school crush. He didn't know that she was crushing on him, right? And so she believes him, well, she says, well, maybe he's messaging me about my content. So as we go on here, but no, he wanted my number because he's not a social media person. She goes, I love that, lots of laugh. Hear this. He's not a social media person. She's not meeting him really through social media because he wants her phone number. Do you see it? She got the best of both worlds. Opened up Facebook where the contact's made. But he's not a social media person. He doesn't want to meet through social media. He wants to call her. That's big. That intention was clear within her. Right? Her wish or desire of not meeting someone on social media. That she created that. Remember, his ways are mysterious and unfathomable, as Scripture says. That higher self knows how to put these things together, knows how to create the events for you, right? The path of least resistance, the bridge of incidents. What a bridge, right? She revised it all. She goes, now I know I was in love with, she goes, now I know, this is what she says, now I know he was in love with me back in school. He was so popular, I assumed he didn't notice me. But she remembered it wrong. She's saying right here, now I know he was in love with me back in school. He was so popular, I assumed he didn't notice me. She revised it. She changed the past to where he was in love with her. Maybe he, remember, all realities exist. So as she revised her past, her hurt trauma with her dad, everything else, as she got into the vertical, she changed everything. I'm getting tingles. She changed timelines where he had a crush on her too. Do you see it? And he was so popular, I assumed he didn't notice me. He didn't. Then, when she felt like she was hurt, when she felt like she's in a timeline where she felt unloved, undeserving, abandoned, right? He didn't notice her because that's how she looked at reality. That's the lens she saw reality through. But as she healed that by just looking at it differently, by revising it, by remembering it differently, right? Because there's nothing to heal. She remembers it differently. She moves to an entirely new timeline where that popular guy was crushing on her too. That's big. Do you see it? She moved to this vertical. All those slides, past, present, and future, came together. All those versions of her came together in that vertical. She merged with them all and became this greater reality, this greater presence in the present moment. All of these slides, now that past slide, that before that was hurt and trauma and abandoned and unloved and undeserving, comes something that was loved, not just by her dad and everybody else, but by this most popular guy in the world, this most popular guy in school. She merged it all. She changed the past, moved into the vertical and new reality in a new timeline. Wow! Reality shift. Revision, scripting, affirming, all of it is here in this brilliant masterpiece of a masterclass. So she goes now, and here's the story. Now I moved in with him in a beautiful luxury apartment. Her sons are grown now. So she's no longer in that home that she manifested before. Now she moved in with him, and she goes, it would take a long email, this is what she says, to express all the good we are living. These are her words. She's a non-native speaker, so she has a great way of expressing herself. Diamonds, gifts, traveling. This is her new life, the life she always wanted. She knows she's worthy. She knows she was never abandoned. She knows that she's always been loved. She knows that it's her and her higher self, and that everyone else is reflected through every other relationship in her life. Every other condition is reflected through that relationship between you and that greater you. It's the only thing that matters, because everything else is added on to you. Just like her, she's living in her new vertical story that she wrote in her notebook. She wrote that in her notebook. She repeated it and affirmed it. Right? And she wrote it over and over again at times, right? And affirmed it. How great my life was. And it's a reality now because I'm God and there's no other. That's what she was writing in her notebook. Right before, when she was affirming. She was writing how great her life was. How it's a reality now because I'm God and there's no other. These are other parts of her affirmations, other part of her scripting. That's astonishing. I just want to you guys remember that the past, the now moment, contains all moments or frames of reality that there ever was, is, or will ever be. And you get to choose what frames mean, what all of those frames mean, and how those frames fit, and what they will look like in your linear experience or horizontal experience of reality. You get to make the threads. You get to make the connections. You get to see it from this now moment. You get to remember it righteously. You get to remember reality the way that you want to remember it and experience it the way you want to experience it. This is an astonishing SB manifesting story with affirmation, scripting, revision, reality shifting, forgiveness, as she forgave her dad. Remember, she even demonstrated the idea of forgiveness, continual forgiveness of sin, remembering it righteously, right? Forgiveness is, remember, what is Jesus meant by forgiveness? Continually identifying with your ideal over and over again. This is what she did. This was a masterclass. I am your host, Tom Kearin. And this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creatives, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/. facebook.com/BeSomethingWonderful, for being with us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, for joining our membership channel. We had a live stream on Sunday. That's now on the channel. Exclusively on the membership channel. We went 50 minutes answering questions live right here in Las Vegas on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. We're going to have another live stream coming probably within a month, within a few weeks coming up. And we also just loaded a big video on the membership channel a few days ago. So if you've joined us, thank you for joining. If you haven't, check it out. There's a link below. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom coming to you from the studios of Be Something Wonderful in Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon.